Welcome to 28 Days and Beyond,
where we talk about our history, our heritage, and our culture.
I'm Amare.
I'm Charisma. Welcome back, guys.
Nice.
Yes.
What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Good.
Excited about today's show.
I am too. Why are you excited?
Because, you know, it's an artist who, how do you say I'm a very huge fan of. Oh my God.
Are you gonna
OMG.
Fangirl?
I don't know. But before we bring her out, we're going to be talking about the expectation of expediency.
All right now.
We're going to be talking about music.
Music.
We're in a time where there are a lot of opportunities available to artists, independent artists, that weren't available previously. I mean, you had to have a lot of money back in the day. And we're talking like 20, 25 years ago just to make a demo.
Yeah, this is
Whereas
very
right
true.
now you can make it all on your phone and get it out to the world immediately.
What do you think that is done as a fellow musician?
Exactly. So,
what do you think that's done in terms of the quality of the music that's being put out?
Yeah,
do you think that has attributed to the trap music?
Okay, this is a series of questions you got here. I will say this, trap has a very special place in my heart, like the old school trap, like early 2000s, okay? So
yeah, that was different because it has nostalgic value.
Yes.
But now I just feel like
it's something else.
Gross.
Really?
Have you listened to some of these lyrics?
Have you listened to the old stuff as well? Exactly,
right.
Exactly. But
you're right.
But one of the things that you say that, I'm, Outkast, right? Was it humble like a mumble on a jungle of shouts and screams? There's a lot of noise.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, there's so much music being put out all the time. You can easily get swept up. And part of what it is like, if you want to stay relevant, if you want to stay on people's minds, you got to constantly be putting stuff out.
This is very true.
What's the quality of that music?
I don't know. For some people, I think not having to go through the normal channels of, going to a record label and presenting yourself and hoping that they'll pick you up and sign you and,
and exploit
you. Because now, I think some people, not all, have gotten wise to these 360 deals that are out here, and they're just like, you know what,
take your money from 360 degrees.
I would rather be an independent artist that has the freedom to express myself through my music and however I see fit. So for some people, I think it's been a really good thing. For other people, I think, the goal is not necessarily to put out music of quality, but to just get out there and be on the map. You want to be seen. You want to be seen.
Right, exactly.
You want Instagram followers. You want, people to listen to you. You want that accolade. So for the people where that's their end goal, I think, most of the time the music is reflective of that. But for the people that are in it because they love music and they want to put something out there that's going to, have a message behind it and affect people in a way that's positive, I think it's a really good thing. So
I mean, one of the things I always find fascinating is how there's all this hype built up to an album, right? Oh, so my God, somebody about to drop this album. Oh my God, they about to drop this out, right? You know what I'm saying? A week or two after it drops, it's on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Which, for us, we have to consider what is the validity of an album format or all these sort of old school, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't have the attention span to sit down for an entire album.
It's
so they get into
microwave
EPs,
generation.
The microwave generation.
So if it's not done in 30 seconds to 60 seconds, they don't want it.
So in the next 30 seconds, what we got in store for today?
Well, our guest today is the lovely Nadjah Nicole.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's going to be talking to us about all things music and the state of the music industry as it is right now, today.
That's it.
But I believe we have to take a break.
All right.
So we'll be back with more 28 Days and Beyond right after this.
Welcome back to 28 Days and Beyond. We are joined now by the illustrious.
Yes.
By the illuminating. By the ill, just all around ill.
So you're just going to drop alliteration
keep on going. What can I say?
What can I
say? I always avoid alliteration. See what I did there? Nadjah Nicole, Wilmington's finest.
Welcome.
But you international. What's going on, Nadjah?
Hey.
We're very excited to have you here.
Welcome.
Yeah. So for our viewers who don't know you, tell us a little bit about who Nadjah Nicole is.
That's always an interesting question. So I am an artist. I'm a mother. I'm a wife to be. I know.
Yeah.
Hold the applause. I am a realist, and that's about it. I don't really like be gassing myself up.
You said that like you aren't a Renaissance woman.
Huh?
Oh my God.
But we appreciate your modesty. That's fine.
From one to another, right?
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you. So Amare and I were discussing the state of the music industry right now. You are an independent artist, correct? Yes. But you declined to tell us that you got your start on a larger platform on, what was it? The Voice?
The Voice.
A little show called The Voice.
That wasn't exactly her start.
Well, not your start. That's why I said on a larger platform that kind of gave more people.
Reintroduced.
Thank you.
The state of the music industry. So I guess let me just start by saying I am still learning the music industry, so is Amare, and so are you. Yes. Like, we're always learning. But I think what you were talking about earlier, we are in a generation where we're competing with millions more than we were back then. Like, you had like the Diana Ross and the Supremes, and then you had the artists that were just like them, the groups that were just like them, all in the same like state, right. And that was maybe 5 artists, 5 groups. Now you have millions, and they have several different platforms to be able to kind of show you who they are. So right now it's like the more you get out, the more you think you'll be seen, and you're kind of in this rat race of trying to be famous. And I think there's this huge ball of confusion of what success and fame really is. And that gets tied up in the expediency of putting out music.
Now, do you, you just mentioned fame and success together.
Yeah.
Are they the same?
Exactly. Are they the same?
I think it depends on the person.
For you as Nadjah Nicole.
For me as Nadjah Nicole, no. It's funny because everyone has always, in my family, my friends, has always said, you could be famous. You are famous. You're this. And I'm like, let's be honest. I'm from a very small state, very small town.
Isn't it the small? No, Rhode Island is smaller than Delaware. Right?
Okay, but it's like, but we are the second state.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
And no taxes.
Oh no, we're the first state. Ooh.
No. Second is first state? Loser. I don't know.
What? Act like we didn't. I'm not right. Let's talk about music.
Music.
Right. But my idea of success is living in my craft and not worrying about my bills and not worrying about if, I need to get plastic surgery to be happy with myself. It's being with my man, making music and my children, and living somewhere near a beach where I can walk barefoot,
Nice.
But fame, simple life. Yeah. But fame to me is so much more dangerous for the person that God wants me to be. So if fame comes while I'm being successful, that's okay, because I know how to handle my success first. But if fame comes first, I'm always very, very afraid of like how to stay rooted in who I am.
And who you are. Yeah. It is very dangerous. And we were talking a little bit about how so many people are chasing fame. Yeah. And how oftentimes the craft of being an artist suffers because of it. Because if your goal is, how many likes you can get, or if you're selling out stadiums, or, if you're getting enough streams on whatever streaming service you're on, or whatever the case may be, it always gives you something that you're reaching for. And it takes away the focus of your fans or the people that are appreciating the art form that you're putting forward. And we want to get into more of that, but we have to take a bit of a break here on 28 Days and Beyond, but we'll be back after this.
And we're back on 28 Days and Beyond with Nadjah Nicole. So, Charisma, you had left off before the break?
Yes, I did. Thank you for tossing it to me, Amare.
I just, I figured it.
Well, since we were talking about this whole concept of fame and success and, how they balance out, having the experience that you did on The Voice, one of the things that Amare and I talked about a little bit off camera was, a lot of people sometimes even look towards things like American Idol or The Voice or America's Got Talent, and a number of these outlets that are seeing competitions that give you, national broadcast audiences, and they kind of feel like, if I do this and I make it on there, that's it. I'm there. That's Mama, my break. I made it, Mama. How do you feel about that and those expectations?
It's bittersweet. So I was singing since I was about 12, and I have been trained and I have practiced and rehearsed and met so many different people and been involved in so many different things that had to do with music, as well as learning like media training and being in pageants to, you know, speak on the fly, you know. So prior to being on The Voice, I had some preparation. And what you see is, you know, Johnny from the small town in Kansas who just happens to be able to sing the hell out of something. Excuse my French. I don't know if we can do that. Okay. But, you know, and he gets on there and he's like, this is going to change my life. And the one thing people don't ever think about, and I didn't think about it until I was there. Thank God I'd been through what I'd been through. But no one ever thinks about the preparation that happens during the show and when you come off. So, number one, it was some of the hardest work I ever did in my life. Like I thought you just go there, you audition, and you go on the show. It's not what happens. And I can't say too much, but just understand, like when you go on these shows, don't think that you just audition. They work the mess out of you. And they're trying to make you from a not to hot, you know, and then what you do after that is up to you because you sign your contract and then they're like, okay, thanks, bloop, and you go home. And yeah, there are some people, you know, who are very fortunate, like the country singers are typically pretty fortunate to have a career after it. But then you have the R&B singers, the soul singers, you have the pop singers who are faced with finding a manager, finding PR, finding a photographer, finding gigs, you know, finding musicians that know how to, you know, figure out where to put their voice, and they have to figure out who they are. And when I came home, even though I had known kind of somewhat what I needed to do prior, I still was not prepared for what I came home to, and that was my regular life. Because they were done with me. Like, that's it. We broke up, you know? So I came home. Right.
Don't
like, get
your
no stuff, pack your stuff, and go. So it was like, okay, so what next? You know? And the good thing is I had a pretty good relationship with many organizations and people where I was able to jump right into gigs. And, you know, I kind of was able to just do my thing. But then there were plenty of people that I spoke to who were like, it was dry. And it was depressing. And, you know, people think that you see these people on Instagram posting their music. They've got 15,000 followers, 20,000 followers, and they must be doing it. You know, they're happy. You know, they got this. They're living their life. And it's like, bruh, let's be honest. In order to pass an exam, you got to study. So I'm very critical, and I hate to say this, I'm very critical of the people who show up to a show that I'm doing. Like if I say I do a show with several artists and I see you rehearsing, I can point out at least 5 things you're doing wrong before you go on stage. And I know it's because of the followers that you got you here, not because of the work that you've put into it.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. So, but they may have, you know, broken up, but you actually broke up with them. It's their loss.
That's right. That's right.
So what has Nadjah Nicole been up to? I mean, how have you sort of, you know, you're building yourself, right? What have you been working on?
Well, healing. Self-healing. I had to go on a self-healing journey because, you know, I was extremely depressed.
Really?
Yes. And that was the one thing that they had mentioned very briefly while there, that some people go through a depression. But it was so quick, I didn't think about it. But I did. I went through about a year-long depression. And that was really hard. And I had some of my worst gigs I ever had in my life. But I'm glad I did. Because after that, I came through and started creating new music and really figured out who I was as an artist. And, you know, gigging and building relationships, networking, all those things.
And when is your next gig, Nadjah Nicole?
That's a good question. That's a great question.
It is Saturday, February 24th at the Poets Art Gallery on Girard Avenue in Philly with my friend.
I was going to say, someone we know.
Hercules. Nadjah, we want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I mean, this has been a great conversation. We know we're not done, right? You're going to be performing with us, for us. Who you have accompanying you?
Oh, I have my MD, musical director, Ishmael.
All right.
I have my fiance.
True. Hey,
show him the ring.
So let him know.
Yeah, certainly so. So we're definitely looking forward to that. But one of the things I think has been really important of what you said is what I'm gleaning from this is the importance of understanding for yourself what success actually is.
Yes.
And that may or may not mean, some people do want to sell out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
That's perfectly fine,
right.
but it's not the only avenue that's available to you. And if you want to be involved, I mean, some people just want to rock something on the weekend. Some people want to have a smaller, sell out smaller venues and lounges. All of that is perfectly available to you. And I think another thing you said was the amount of preparation that goes into it.
Yeah,
You
and
gotta actually
also
work.
the importance of making sure that you are whole as a person.
Yes.
Because that is the most important thing that we
what's
can
up.
do, making sure that we're whole.
Yes.
Yo, when we come back on 28 Days and Beyond, we'll have a performance from Nadjah Nicole.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, I see you shining bright, oh, I do. I heard you're stuck in outer space, so I built a rocket to rescue you. I know it must be lonely living so high up, but maybe if I came to be with you, we would be one, and you could be my king's son. Your crown made of rays from your light, you're my knight in shining armor. Your kiss warms my heart, and your smile warms the world. I built my rocket with tears of joy and filled it with things that you adore. I'm coming to rescue you, you. It's funny how this love affair is broken through the atmosphere. I'm on my way, I'll be there soon. I'll be your queen and your moon, and you could be my king's son. I love you to infinity, and you could be my king's son, lasting through layers and layers and layers. And you could be my king's son, crash into me like a comet. And you could be my king's son, explore the galaxy together. And you could be my king's son, whoa. And you could be my king's son. And you could be my king's son. And you could be my king's son. Son, son. It seems that I've arrived to our kingdom in the sky, somewhere between heaven and clouds.